It's not a sworn allegiance. And that's what happens with people in non-duality, is they swear allegiance, but usually prior to non-duality, they swear allegiance to relativity. And if something's got, if I can't see it, feel it, hear it, whatever, eat it or whatever, then it isn't. Then it just doesn't matter. It either isn't or it doesn't matter. It's just, there's just nothing to that. It's just a thought. But then we get mixed up in the desert of non-duality, and we begin to come unglued. The identification with relativity begins to, even a specific character within this relativity begins to get a little shaky. And it doesn't take a lot. It just needs any kind of little rattle is the start of it. And then if we're not careful, an awakening will happen. And if we're not very, very careful, then the next thing that happens is that the allegiance that was sworn to relativity is now sworn to the absolute. So everything is the absolute. Anything, who cares about the relative? It doesn't matter. You can't change it anyway. Who would change it? What would we do? No. It just gets heavier and heavier and heavier, more and more foolish. So you're not doing that. What you're not taking a stand in the seeing of the absolute and trying to take the conditions of the absolute, which are absolutely true within the absolute, and transfer those over to the relative, where they remain absolutely true, but they're not relatively true. And what is relatively true, if taken to the absolute, it's still true, but it's only relatively true. It's not right. And it's this constant confusion between the absolute and the relative. And we're trying to catch that in our minds. We're trying to do what? We're trying to figure this out. Well, where do I stand so that I can figure all this out? Well, who is it that's attempting to stand?